Hello, and welcome to this edition of Talk with Taz Live. We have been meeting the cast of the new gospel play, The Brownie, an unforgettable trip. And so today we're really going to have a trip because we've got some of the family members who are going to be joining us, and I can't wait for you to meet them. They will be coming in shortly. Let's see if we can get them in so they can join us. Okay. They are joining us now. Hi. How's everybody? Hi. 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 Well, as I was telling them, I've got the cast of The Brownie, an unforgettable trip. And today we may have a little bit of family drama because we got the family members here today. So I know we got one other person that's going to be joining us, I think, Felicia, but we're going to go ahead and get started. So for those who may not know Felicia, because we got the family here today, just give them they got to go back and get all the real details about this young lady, but just give them a little quick synopsis of Sister Nadine so they understand the family drama that we're going to be talking about today. And I got your book here so that they know Sister Nadine.
Well, Sister Nadine, first of all, I call her the saint that ain't. She is very domineering in her church and her home. She also loves her pastor. She's not too crazy about her first lady because, again, she wants to run everything. She is a bit high-strung, you could say. She is verbally abusive. She is also, physically abusive, but she is somebody who loves to show the image of God, but doesn't carry herself in the likeness of God. Like, she'll dress the part, and when she's around her church members, some of them get the bad side of it, but overall, she puts on this image of her white gloves, and her white shoes and stockings, and her dress, and she just looks like the perfect little usher, just run everything, but really she is hell on wheels.
Hell on wheels. Okay. Well, now, which family members do we have here? I think we got Patsy. Now, is that Sonia? Okay. So let the family members introduce themselves. I'm gonna start with the person that's with you because I can't tell if that's is that Mama over there?
This is Amber. This is this is coming to the stage, Caramel Delight.
Delight. So this is, I won't say who you are. Tell them who you are and what your relationship is to Sister Nadine.
Well, I'm Amber, as you heard. My name is Tamika Purnell, a.k.a. Caramel Delight. And yes, I am, Nadine is like a big auntie to me. She's my guider. She's the one I kind of look up to for guidance and to help me throughout my religious path.
Okay.
So that's my relationship with Nadine.
Okay.
Teresa, do you have an invite request from Sonia Valentine, maybe?
No, I don't see it. I see she's trying to join. Sonia, send me an invite so that you can join. I don't have one, so I can't connect you. So request to join the meeting.
Yeah, just go down to the bottom of the screen where you see the circle with the plus, and click that, and then click the camera, and it'll give you the option to send the request to be invited in.
Okay. So Amber, okay, you look up to Sister Nadine.
Yes,
okay.
I do.
Bless you. God bless you. We've also got with us Patsy. Tell them who you are, because I'm speaking of the character name now. Tell us who you are.
Okay, hello. I do play Patsy in the play. My real name is Almia Valentine, freshman biology at but my character play is sister of these three who are Patsy, me, and my middle sister.
Now you were going in and out for me, so I don't know if the audience heard that. So tell them again who your character is.
Okay. My name, I'm a freshman biology major. My part in the the oldest of Nadine's 3 daughters. I have Miss, and then my youngest.
Hi.
Her name
Okay.
is Amia Valentine.
Emil Valentine, and she's playing Patsy, and Patsy is which daughter of, in the order of Felicia?
She's the oldest daughter of Sister Nadine.
Okay, so she's the oldest daughter. Okay. Hi. I'm just waving at people, guys. Oh, hi. Hi, Sonia. We're so glad to have you with us today.
Sorry for my tardiness.
Well, you know, since you play the role of Mama Ruth, I don't think that you have to apologize because we all with you there, I believe. That's just a little bit about Mama Ruth. I believe we's at your beck and call. So I was just asking everybody to tell us a little bit about their character. And I know that you do a lot of different things, but talk specifically about the character that you're playing, because today I want to talk about this family drama that's surrounding Sister Nadine. Then you know how family drama, when you get on a, I think we said it was a BMW, whatever.
Church bus.
Church bus. That dude on that BMW church bus, and you know, that drama, it comes with us. So tell us a little bit about who you are, Mama Ruth.
Well, I am the mother of Nadine. And so Nadine, what it is Nadine gets obviously some of her ways from me.
So,
yeah, I'm feisty, you know, stern and things like that, you know, to the point, cut and dry. And so, you know, just like in real life, you know, some people pick up some of their parent traits, and so Nadine has picked up that trait, you know, from me, and that's what I'll be bringing and showing throughout the production.
Okay. Now, so I want the audience to see who we've got here. We've got Nadine's mama, that's Mama Ruth. We got her oldest daughter, which is Patsy, and then we got Amber. And Amber, you say you look at Nadine as a auntie. Did I hear?
That's
okay. Okay. As an auntie. Okay. So I'm gonna start with Patsy. Describe your mama. I want you to tell me one thing that you like about your mama. I'm gonna start with what you like first. What you like about your mama?
I can say that I like about my mom is a hard working woman. Work hard in the church, even though she doesn't practice what she preaches. But
okay. Now you went in and out, but I got that she works hard in the church, even though she don't practice what she preaches.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is there anything that you change about your mama?
Anything that I would change about my mom? I would change her attitude. Very sarcastic and feisty.
Okay.
I would change about her.
Now, did you say nasty and feisty?
Sarcastic.
Oh, sarcastic and feisty.
Yes, ma'am.
So she's sarcastic. Okay. And feisty. Okay. So you would change her attitude.
Yes.
Okay. Are you planning to tell her that she's feisty and sarcastic?
I don't really tell her, but I do show her in my actions. I show her, like, I don't really like the way you're acting. I don't like what you're doing. But I don't, like, ever verbally say, like, I don't like this, you know. But you can tell in my facial expressions and in my actions and the way that I walk and things like that. You can tell that I'm not feeling her vibe in certain scenes.
Okay. All righty. Thank you, Patsy, for being honest there. Amber.
Yes.
that you chose Nadine of all the people? What's the name of this church again? Y'all know I keep forgetting this church. It's
We're
the
Triumph Missionary Baptist Church.
in the Triumph Missionary Baptist Church. How is it that you chose Sister Nadine to be your auntie?
Well, being the head usher, she just seems like the right choice because she was so upright and just uplifting in the church, and she just seemed like the person to follow to give me that guidance that I needed. She seemed like the right one because she was just so holy. And even though she had her ways, I'm trying to find my way. So she seemed like the right person to lead me in the direction I needed to go. So I just said, let me go with Sister Nadine. She's the one I need to follow.
Now, I'm not going to speak ill of Sister Nadine, but let me ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
Is your mother living?
Yes, my mother is living.
Now, does she go to the Missionary Baptist Church also? Or does she go to another church in town?
She goes to the church.
Okay. She not an usher.
No, she's not an usher.
So she don't get to put on that white dress and the white gloves and direct people.
No. No, she does.
Okay. Because I just, I'm listening to her own daughter talk about her ways. And I'm just trying to figure out how you just gravitated to her. Because I know you see her ways, because we all see them at the church, but she in with the pastor, so we have to back up. Because she running everything.
Well, I'm just a naturally humble person, just trying to find my way, and even though she has those little stank ways from time to time, it doesn't really bother me because I have such a sweet demeanor. And I look over that in a way, and I just say, well, she's still a leader in the church, so she's probably my best option to try to pattern myself after, since she's a leader in the church.
Bless your soul. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Now, Mama Ruth.
Yes.
When I was prepping for today, I thought about the relationship between a mother and their daughter. And really, nobody knows their child like the mama. They really don't. Now we may sometimes try to say, well, I didn't know, but nobody really knows like mama.
That's right.
Now, I grew up in the church. I'm Southern Baptist. We call it General Baptist. And mamas have a strong role in the church, whether they ushers, deaconess, or what have you, over the church kitchen committee. Now, mamas, the women, they kind of run things. Don't y'all tell Kenny, but they kind of run things, I want to talk about your daughter, Nadine.
Okay. All right.
Now, Patsy has already said she's kind of sarcastic and feisty. And I believe Amber said that she got some skank ways, but she still.
Let me add condescending too.
What you say that?
Let me
Amber?
add condescending too.
Bless her. And she condescending also.
Yeah, she is.
And I was taught to respect my elders, Mama Ruth. You don't mind me calling you Mama Ruth, just out of respect.
Come on, sweetie.
Okay, I'm gonna probably go to Miss Ruth because that just comes out so much better because I used to know Miss Ruth. Miss Ruth, I know mothers sometimes have to take things and do things they wouldn't otherwise do in order for their kids to have. They're talking about your daughter. And you've even said a few things, but you see, mama can say it because blood is thicker than water.
Right, okay.
You kind of get a little past that because that is your mama. Amber, that's not your mama. That's not your real blood aunt, I believe. So, Miss Ruth, has Nadine always been like this? You know, got a nasty attitude, got skank ways, kind of condescending. You know, has she always been like this?
Well, I'm gonna go on record to say, yes, she's always been like this, even as a child. You know how some people have that one child, that one child that you be wanting to just like that. But I'm gonna go on record to say she's been like that all her life since childhood. Yeah, and
Well,
as you grow older, you just get more of that, right?
now you spoke the gospel right there. As we mature in age, we grow more into who we are unless we determine that we want to change.
Exactly.
And at this point, Nadine said she want to change. But Miss Ruth, now you raised her now. Mama taught me to be respectful. So I'm trying to figure out how to ask this question so I won't have to get a little tap when I get off the interview. What do you think your role may have been in Nadine becoming so controlling in her home? And, she kind of controlling at the church, too. Do you think that you played a role in that?
I want to say no, but I got to say yes, right? Nobody wants to admit, right, or be accountable for, that kind of behavior and her attitude and so on and so forth, raising a child. A lot of people think would say that they did their best, and it probably was the best, that she could do, because a lot of times, if whatever is in you, if we could go back a generation, maybe my parents, maybe I got that from my mother or my father, how they were controlling and things like that. By the way, I'm a preacher's kid.
Yes,
so in real life.
Yes,
and so I definitely, can speak to that, because if you think about it, pastors of a church, is their church. And my father founded his church. He wasn't so much of a controlling person, but he kind of was, you know what I'm saying? Especially raising me and my siblings. So, because you just want preachers' kids, you want them to be like set apart and better than the rest. And so that control, can, I say, seep over into your like I said, into your children and children's children, unless somebody puts a stop to it.
Somebody break the chain.
Yeah.
exactly. And thank you for sharing, Sonia, that you are, which is Mama Ruth, guys, for you guys, that you are a pastor's kid in real life, because what Felicia has done is, in this play and in both of the books, what she's done is bring to the forefront the concerns that we have and we see in the Black church. And it may be the white church or any place of faith in any community, because we are a product of our community, but we don't have to stay in that place. And that's what you were talking about. And you talk about, really, I think of it sometimes as generational curses, because, and I'm going to say it this way too, don't nobody get me now, but the sins of the father are visited on the son, because what we've done is we perpetuate the same circumstances, but what we fail to understand sometimes as adults, what worked with me is not going to work with the next one. So what you were able to do with Nadine, that's a little ruffle there. She's kind of prickly, but Patsy here is not really buying into that. And then she's also protective of her other siblings, because she sees having the father that she has, she sees that it doesn't have to be that way, but mama is not ready to see another way. Now, guys, y'all like, is she talking about get the book, get the book, get
Yeah.
the book, get the book. You got to
Yeah.
know this if you be your family. Um, so, like I said, it's family drama that's in all of our families in some way or the other. And even with what you were saying, Amber, children and adults, we gravitate towards those who, quote unquote, appear to have it all together. Even though we see sometimes, as mama would say, my mama now, they slip be showing. You know? Sometimes it be a literal slip, but sometimes it's not a literal slip, but they slip is showing. And as you said, yes, she can be a bit condescending, but she's a leader in the church. Now, Felicia, I haven't seen the screenplay, but let me ask this question of you, knowing Nadine. Did Nadine help put the trip together for the church?
Well, of course she did.
I figured as much. I
Of
figured as
course she
much.
did. She put the trip together for Pastor, and she made sure she reminded Pastor, don't forget now. We having his show coming up this weekend, and she made sure to tell the people, now, I know y'all got the money for this trip. So, she,
And see,
happened at Greater Tribe Missionary Baptist Church without Nadine being ahead of it.
ain't that the truth? We all know that person. And nothing happens without that individual signing off on it. And right now, this happens to be a female. In some churches, it might be a male. And we're not even talking about the pastor. But sometimes it is the pastor. But normally, it's one or two people in the congregation. If they don't sign off on it, it doesn't get done. And in this church, it's Sister Nadine. Well, now, Miss Ruth, I thank you for being so honest there. Now, I didn't get the list because Sister Nadine didn't share it with me. Are the three of you actually going on the trip? Or are y'all going on the trip, the retreat? Oh, y'all not going.
I don't go.
I am, yes.
You going, Amber? Okay.
Yes, I'm going.
Well, I guess so, because you want to be right there with
Be right there with Sister Nadine.
Yeah, help her out. Okay.
Gotta be a helpmate.
Gotta be a helpmate. Yeah. Okay. So now let me go back down here to Patsy. Now, she's a hard worker. God knows she is. She works hard in the church. And she makes y'all work hard at the house to make sure that she looks good when she gets to the church. Y'all got to get the book now. You got to get the book to understand what I'm talking about. So, Patsy, how you feeling about your mama being gone for the weekend on this trip? How you feeling about it?
I don't like it at all. We got things going on at home that she needs to tend to, but instead she decides to leave her family in a time of need. She leaving her husband, she leaving her children, and we need her. We need our mom.
Oh, it just kind of hurts my heart to hear you say that, because I understand, having read the book, the struggle that you're dealing with and the love that you have for her, even though it's sort of hard to love her, and the love that you have for your daddy, Kenny. And you want to see a more solid front between the two of them. And then, like I said, you got the two younger siblings, and it's almost like a plea to hear you say that you're not happy because she needs to be at the house with y'all. Y'all have needs. You want your mom around, but unfortunately, she has chosen the church and the pastor.
Yeah.
And so she's going with them.
Yeah.
Well, did she at least ask Miss Ruth, Mama Ruth, to look in on y'all while she's gone, or y'all gonna have to stay at Mama Ruth's house?
Well, that is cool.
She decided that she doesn't want anyone come. She want me to take care of the family. She wants me to be the parent, basically. She want to drop all of her responsibilities onto me. She's dropping everything on me. So much weight on my shoulders because I'm only a certain age and I have to take care of two other siblings. And, taking care of your siblings is not easy, especially when you're still trying to grow someone of your own as well. You have to find your identity as well. I don't even know who I am, and I'm trying to take care of my little sisters who definitely don't know who they are either.
Well, and I know that, you want a social life, and that makes it very challenging to have a social life when you're having to take care of your two sisters. And as you said, it's almost like you're having to be, and this may be wrong, so y'all correct me, you're having to be the parent for your siblings, and sometimes either the big sister or the parent for Nadine, pseudo parent, meaning get everything that she wants done, so that when she gets ready to step out the house, she's looking all pristine. And that is a lot to carry as a child, all of that responsibility. And thank you for voicing that the responsibility is heavy, because we're talking about the play and your character, but these are still real life issues that teenagers are dealing with every day. So you give voice to that. So thank you for saying that so eloquently. Now, Amber, I'm still trying to wrap my brain around this. I mean, I know, Nadine's, how do I want to think about how they would call it? She's a pretty girl. Let's put it like that. She's a pretty woman. She's well put together as far as her figure. She's nice looking, and when she put on that, well, see, Mama will tell you, she gets it from her mama. So she got the top, she got the bottom. So when she put on that white uniform, it kind of cinches right there in the waist. So right those hips and everything. So. I'm still trying to understand with your own mama going to church there, and you know how it is when we come home from church, people get to talking in the house, and you see how Nadine did today, wouldn't let so-and-so sit down, made them look. I'm still trying to understand what is it in you. Now, we have a real talk now. What is it in you that just pulls you to Nadine, that you're almost just following her blind? You're blinded, but you're not blinded. Help me to understand that.
I guess I'm looking at her with her children and her daughters and seeing how, from the outside, not from the inside of what's actually going on in the home. I'm seeing what I'm seeing in the church, but how she interacts with her children. And I'm looking at that and saying, she's a good mother. I mean, maybe I can look to her for certain guidance and everything because of the way she treats her daughters, from the way that I see that she treats her daughters, because I don't know the entire story of what's going on. So by me viewing that and seeing that, and probably not, seeing eye to eye with my own mother and some of the decisions I make, and I know that my mother does not agree with, I'm looking at Nadine and saying, okay, well, she's probably a better suited person for me to look up to and to follow and get my guidance from, according to how she's raising her daughters. Well, according to how I see she raises her daughters.
If you don't mind, how old are you? How old is the character?
We're not too old because I'm trying to get a car. I'm in my early 20s, so I'm trying to, learn things for myself. So my only thing is what I need right then and there, and whatever goal I need to get to, I'm going to do it by any means necessary.
Well, I heard you not by any means necessary, but let me back up. So, you're not much. Well, you're not much older than Patsy. You are a couple, probably five years old, but not much older than Patsy. And so you really kind of starstruck by what you see of Nadine at the church. And she appears to have it going on in comparison to your mom. So that sounds like why you're gravitating towards her. You want some of her glitz and bling, glitz and all this different stuff. But it seems like you really do know who Nadine is, because you said you want to get what you want, by any means necessary, but Nadine is your role. You didn't call her role model. I'm gonna call her your role model. So it seems like you really have a good handle on who Nadine is,
Mm-hmm.
but you're still choosing because it's a choice here now. So
Yeah,
we're
it's a
going on
choice.
an unforgettable trip now. We're going on an unforgettable trip. So you're making a conscious decision, even though you think she's nasty.
Yeah.
That way, and she get even sometimes she get a pastor straight. You make a conscious decision to follow her.
Well, I still have some learning to do, so I'm learning. But I like the take charge attitude she has, and that kind of fits in with me and what I'm trying to do in my life. So I'm looking at Nadine like she got her stuff in order. She's taking charge. She's running that household. I need to, look at how she's doing things and kind of pattern myself after her.
They said that children are watching and they are listening. And I want us to just think about what you're saying. We've heard Patsy talk about what it's like to live in the house. She just gave us a little brief overview of what it's like to live in the house with Nadine. And then hear what you're saying, Amber. You're seeing nothing, you see the bad, but you're focusing on the good, and you want to pattern yourself after that person. And I bring that up because I think it's an interesting dichotomy that we see and experience all the time in our homes and in our churches and in our communities, that individuals will gravitate towards someone else, even though they know, because you know that she's not 100%, but she's close enough to 100% that you want to attach yourself to her.
Yeah. I'm choosing to ignore the negative things I see. Yeah, the negative signs. I'm looking over those and just looking at, what I'm trying to pursue and seeing those similarities, the good similarities, instead of weighing everything 100%.
Miss Ruth, listen to us talk about your daughter, Nadine. I mean, because it's not often you get to be a fly on the wall and hear people talk about their child. If you can just put your mama feelings to the side, because I know you probably got a little something, your heart got palpitating a little bit because we're talking about your daughter. But if you put that to the side, how do you feel if she wasn't your daughter? We know she's somebody's daughter, so don't go preach a child on me. We know she's somebody's daughter. But how do you feel to hear the comments from your granddaughter and then from Amber? Because, Amber kind of sees herself as Patsy's aunt, because she's trying to walk right with Nadine and basically be Nadine, the 2.0 version. How does that make you feel to hear these negative things about your daughter?
Well, as Mama Ruth, it makes me mad, and I want to jump on some people. But that's a whole nother story. I don't know. I might need to do that. Felicia, you gonna write that in? I think you might write that in, so I get fighting with somebody.
You want to jump on somebody, at least that really must.
She act like her daughter act like her.
Too similar.
They want to put their hands on somebody.
But I want to say that on that note, it would make a mother feel bad that people talking about her daughter in that kind of way. But then as the mother, I think I would have to go back, or mothers have to go back and look in the mirror.
Yes.
Look in the mirror and see if you can bring some type of awareness to yourself first, and then maybe go back and pull your daughter and say, listen, people have to apologize. Parents shouldn't mind apologizing to their children when they have I would say messed up, or whatever, or didn't get it quite right. Let's say it like that. And so pull her to the side and, offer an apology, say, Nadine, I'm sorry, that I did the best I could, but I didn't, some of my ways, I know I could have done better or lived a better life or whatever for you. And, like I tell my son that all the time, and so, but, yeah, if she would get Nadine and pull her to the side, we would see, something better. Again, like we were saying with generational curses and breaking those. And so then, as far as Amber, like the people in the church looking at Nadine, again, being in the church, when I was in the church, that's how we would see. We would see the surface.
Yes.
We would see the surface. But and like as you stated, before stated that, we have to remember that nobody's perfect. And when we're trying to have someone to be our mentor, your mentors, my mentors, they weren't perfect, and I think we just have to keep that in mind, whatever, when we're, especially like Amber, trying to, pattern herself there after Nadine or what have you. Everybody needs to find themselves. You find your own self and be that best self that you can be,
So true.
And I think it is so important to find yourself and be the best self that you can be. And, I think that's a gift that you can give Nadine at some point. And I applaud you, Miss Ruth, for being willing to say you didn't get it all right, but you did the best that you could at the time, but you know better now. And, it's sort of hard sometimes to help the older child to understand it, but you know better now. But I don't give up on her, Miss Ruth, because, if anybody can help her, Nadine, guys, to tweak it just a little bit, besides this unforgettable trip, that might help a little bit too. But if anybody can do that, it's Mama. Because if she can see how you have shifted,
totally,
and she knows she can shift and it's going to be okay. Because you are that central person who helped her to become, Miss Ruth, I'm sorry, but who she is. You kind of influenced that greatly.
Yeah.
And so your willingness to go back and try to help her to see things differently, I applaud you for that. And, the audience, this is so important for families, that being willing to admit when you didn't get it right, but we can go back, we can't go back and change it, but we can talk about it and figure out how do we move forward.
Right.
That is so important.
Yes.
And, this play has a lot of themes in it that may be triggers for folks. There's, and I'm just talking real life people, so work with me here. There's some domestic violence. There may be some, how do I want to put it? Inappropriate behaviors that took place that would be injurious for anyone. Some make that be big, so it don't matter the age with that. But because of that, there is a warning, trigger content warning, because we want individuals to realize that when you view this, there's going to be humor too, but there's a message. It may trigger something in you, and so we want you to be aware of that. And we will have social workers there who can assist anybody that has been triggered, because we're dealing with real life themes that are in all of our families and in all of our communities. But our playwright, Felicia, has done a wonderful job of trying to bring that to the forefront, but at the same time, teach us lessons so that hopefully what we see on the stage does not become our path. Like I said, that. Felicia, having not seen the play yet and haven't read the script, guys. We know that Patsy and Miss Ruth, they're not going to go on the trip. The Amber's going. Why did you choose, because you know all the characters, because they're all in your head. Why did you choose for Mama Ruth not to be with them? I can understand why Patsy not going, but was there a reason why Mama Ruth is not going to go with them on the trip?
Well, even though Mama Ruth attends Great Clouds Missionary Baptist Church, she is not all of the pastors look like her daughter is.
Okay.
And her and her daughter, they are kind of oil and water. And before this trip takes place, they have a little slight falling out. Mama Ruth and Eva have a little falling out with Sister Nadine. You know, and they talk about her and call her names and, you know, say, oh, you always up in the pastor's face. You will do anything for him. So she's not one of those who's going to follow behind the pastor. She'll come to the church because, you know, that's what they do. That's tradition. They go to Great Trials Missionary Baptist Church. But she's not all involved in church like her daughter. And she kind of, in a way, she kind of puts Nadine down. They kind of maybe tease her about who she is and why she is the way she is with the pastor. So that's why she didn't go on the trip. Her character is there in the space, in the church, but she's not really as into it as her daughter. And she's back there in the back with Eva criticizing. That's how they get their entertainment. They criticize Nadine.
Oh, Miss Ruth. Well, I know Miss Ruth is she gonna work on that criticism because she's seeing how it's hurting Patsy, her granddaughter, and you know we hope she's gonna get with it. You know, so you see how it's hurting Patsy, Miss Ruth, and you see how Amber's so impressionable because she's still a young woman, and you still got them other two grandkids at the house. So I beg of you. You know, sometimes people act the way they do, Miss Ruth, because they in pain.
True.
They're in pain. And, you know, I don't know everything there is to know about Nadine. Even you don't know some of the things that have happened to her. But, you know, her behavior could be that controlling and, you know, she's kind of snappy. Sometimes it could be because a person's in pain. And I understand you in pain, too. I do understand that. But, you know, that family drama, you don't want to keep passing it on because you got three great grandkids. They're just great granddaughters, and you don't want them to have to go through what you went through and your two daughters have gone through.
And that's the message that Kenny keeps trying to get across to Nadine, that she's creating the same thing. She's passing along that same generational trauma that came from her mother, that came from her, and now she's trying to pass it along. And Kenny is trying to tell her, you need to wake up and see what you're doing. But because Kenny has his own issues, she doesn't take value in anything that he says. Yeah. You know, and so for her, it's like she's just being a strong woman and handling what she needs to handle. But she doesn't realize, as I've told people before, consider the fact that Nadine is a victim also. But they don't see that. But she is. She's a victim from living under her mother who passed the same thing along to Nadine that came from her own mother. So it just keeps going, the generational trauma.
Somebody has to realize it has to break somewhere.
Right. It has to break.
Mm-hmm. And that's so hard because, like you said, somebody had to realize that it needed to be broken. But being able to realize that and understanding that you are not less valuable if you're trying to break it. You know, it's almost like, I don't know how to say it the right way. Everyone has high value, but your strength grows when you take the chance to break a cycle that has been passed on and on and on, because you're wanting to see the world differently and you want something different for your kids. It doesn't mean that you don't love those that came before, you do, but you want something different, and that takes strength. And that's not always the easy thing to do. And as you said, Felicia, she's doing the best that she can. Nadine is. You know, she provides for her daughters. She's very active in the church. I believe that I read in one of the books, she's sort of a leadership role on her job. So she's doing all the right things, but not necessarily feeling the right way on the inside. So then she does other things to make up for that. And that's the stuff that getting her in trouble, them other things that she's doing.
Right, and you want to also recognize that for her to be this way, she went through great trauma growing up in the household with her mother. And so that kind of trauma, the greater the trauma, the greater the deliverance is going to be. So just like Amber said, somebody's got to wake up and realize that it's got to stop. But with Nadine, she has to have something really traumatic to happen to her, to shake her, to wake her, to change her anyway. It's got to be a great deliverance.
And, you know, I'm thinking about both books, Felicia, and I'm thinking about what I know is going to happen in play, and not knowing what the third book's going to be about, even though I know we had some chats about a year ago. Is this not giving it? Well, we're not giving away what's going to happen. That just means you need to come and see it. Is this going to be enough to shake her to her core? Do you know at this point?
Oh, baby, it's going to shake her. It's going to shake her to her knees.
Okay.
Oh no.
Okay. Guys, you heard
It's going to be quite interesting. Yeah.
Very.
This unforgettable trip
She's
is
going to come to herself.
Oh, so she is going to come to herself. Oh,
She's going to come to herself.
Immediately.
But immediately, right? Won't do too much good at that point, but ooh, yeah, she's gonna have that awakening moment, that shocking moment when like, who, me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah, you. Okay. Guys, Felicia, how can people get tickets to see this show about Patsy's mama, Miss Ruth's daughter, and Amber's shining light mentor? How can they get tickets to see this show?
Amber's best church friend, mentor. Well, first of all, these beautiful faces that you see on this interview today on Instagram Live, they have tickets. Mm-hmm. You can also go into eventbrite.com to get tickets. Or, hey, if you know where I am and you're in my location, I also have tickets. You want to get your tickets on Eventbrite or from a cast member because there will be no ticket sales at the door. Please do not come there on site that night and say, oh, I want to get my ticket, because there will be no tickets to get.
Oh, gosh. So if you want to see the Brownie, An Unforgettable Trip on April the 29th at 3 p.m. in Raymond, Mississippi, you have got to get your ticket on Eventbrite, or you've got to get it from a cast member. No tickets are going to be sold at the door, okay? Now, what if I can't make it? Is there going to be a way for me to see this remarkable play, Felicia?
Well, first of all, we really hope you get to make it. But if not, we will be having the production videotaped, which means we'll be able to offer DVDs, so you can place your order for your DVD while you're there that night. Also, if there's anyone that's attending that wants to meet the cast and get their autograph and their playbill, we will be having a VIP event immediately following the production in the same location. But again, make sure you get that VIP ticket from Eventbrite, okay? Because again, there's no tickets sold at the door.
Mama Ruth, we've been talking about your daughter today, and you know she's getting ready to go on this church retreat, and you have knowledge that we all don't have. What would you say to anyone who's thinking about coming to see this play, that your daughter is one of the central characters? What would you say to them and why they should come to see the play?
I would tell everybody, look, come to this production because as has been forced again, all we can do is emphasize it. You know, it's real life. It's real life stuff. You know, that we all go through or all have been through, and may be even gonna go through in the future. And so, just come and be enlightened is what I'll say. Come and be enlightened. You know, and hopefully take away something that will help you to live and lead better lives, you know, and not remembering at the same time that it's the small things, you know, it's the small things that really matter. And a lot of times we try to go big and, you know, and do all these things and be grandstand, you know, and God, I say, don't be looking at that. You know, you'll be studying it. It's the small things, you know, so that he's concerned about. So hopefully everybody will leave at least with that message, you know, and again, that message would prick their hearts and their spirits to, you know, become better and live better lives and be better examples, and don't just go to church, but be sure the church is in you.
Amen. Make sure the church is in you and live and lead better lives. Thank you, Mama Ruth. Patsy, you know, we've been talking about your mama. Why do you think that people need to come to this play that talks about your mom and they get a chance to see a part of your life also? Why do you think they need to come?
Okay, agree with Mama Ruth. Seeing that it is the little things that can keep you from receiving the kingdom of God. And I also would think that someone should come and watch this play to see the awareness for children. Do not put so much pressure on your child to be a parent so early, or to be perfect, or to have everything figured out at a young age, because they don't. I know adults don't even have things figured out, so please don't expect it from your child. That's the number one thing that I would say people should take away from this play.
Absolutely. And thank you for saying that, because in real life, you're a college student. And to hear a college student talk about the pressure that is placed upon our young people, and as you said, it's so eloquently, even adults don't have it all figured out. So don't put that pressure on our young people to have everything figured out and to be perfect, because that's not what life is about. Give them an opportunity to grow and learn at the same time. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. Why would you say that folks need to come and see your bestie? She's not really your bestie, but come see this woman that you admire. Why do you think that they should come and go with you and the rest of the church people who are going on the trip, because you're going on the trip? Why should they come and see what's so unforgettable about this trip?
They should come and see, because every scene in this production is going to show some aspect of somebody's life in that audience. Somebody's going to be able to easily relate to everything we discuss and we go through in this production. Everything. I mean, it's going to touch their lives in a way where they're going to second think the things that they're doing in their own household and question themselves, well, should I do this or should I do that, or maybe I should change in some way. It's going to relate in so many ways that it's going to leave a lot of people touched, and their hearts will change that night of this production. They will see a lot of things that's going to make them question themselves and the people around them.
And, you know, you said that so well, because that's the hope, that people will see themselves or see other people that they know in the play, and that they will be touched and that their lives will be changed as a result of that. And so thank you for sharing that with the audience. Felicia,
I feel a lot of chains will be broken that night.
A lot of chains will be broken.
Chains will be broken that night.
And I believe it, because I know bits and pieces about the play. So a lot of chains are going to be broken. And, you know, when people are together on one accord, meaning they're all seeing the same thing, there's strength in numbers. And we know that he's going to be in the midst, because we are all there together. So that's the place to be on that day, April 29th at 3 p.m. in Raymond, Mississippi. Because a lot of chains are going to be broken. Felicia, I'm going to let you have the last word.
Well, my last word would be, please come out and support this production. I think I did a pretty good job of writing this production, and I have an amazing cast. They are so talented, and they are definitely going to hold your attention on that stage that night. Also, again, want to give a shout out to all of the donors so far that have donated to help put this on stage, and all of the sponsors. We cannot do this without you. The production has a lot of expenses to it, but the payout that's going to come out that night when those people walk into that auditorium and walk out, it is beyond value to put a tag on it. But again, thank everybody in advance for coming out. Thank our sponsors and donors. We would love to see all the churches in the Jackson area and surrounding areas or outside of the area to pile up your church bus and come on this trip to Raymond, Mississippi to see the Brownie, an Unforgettable Trip, April the 29th, 3 p.m. at Hines Community College in Raymond. And don't forget your VIP tickets. And don't forget there will be no tickets at the door. Teresa, we have enjoyed this interview with you. You always do an outstanding job. And I just want to say I really love that royal blue and white on you today, darling.
Thank you, my sister. My sister, I didn't say my brother in the songwriter that season, but I did think about it when I put it on. I said, that blue and white. For you, Felicia, for you.
I thank you so much. Amber loves it too.
Yeah,
she's a sister. She likes red, but you know, it's okay.
I prefer crimson and cream.
Oh, you know.
And that shows, because this is real life too, because you have the Greek and the churches, but that shows the fact that we all work together for the greater good. So even though I'm pink and green, you see the pink behind me.
All in love.
And I see the green in the on the wall. So again, it's all in love. And
That's for you, Teresa. Mm-hmm.
You know, because I was looking at your quill, I couldn't tell if it was pink or green. Pink and green. But I always say he's working behind the scene. I'm in blue and white. She's got pink, and the green is behind her. Only God can orchestrate something like that today. So, thank you for joining me with Talk with Taz Live and the cast of the Brownie and Unforgettable Trip. Make sure you get your tickets on Eventbrite, or you get them from a cast member. We got VIP tickets. You want to make sure that you can get photos and get your playbill signed by these wonderful actors. I am enjoying myself meeting everybody. And until next time, make sure you take care of you so you can take care of someone else. Bye now, and thank you guys.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay, bye-bye.